Okay, so I've partnered with Oppo to tell you why the Oppo Reno 8T 5G is one of the best smartphone deals right now. Now, I also have the Samsung A53 that lives in the same price range as this phone, and when I did some side-by-side comparisons while navigating the home screens and opening different apps and games, there was a noticeable speed difference favoring the Reno 8T 5G. And I also take a ton of pictures, and timing is everything. And what I mean by this is that you can see the difference in time it takes both of these phones to open the camera app and switch between the different modes, and the speed difference in some cases is significant, and in others it's just by a little bit. But when you add up the total time saved, the Reno 8T 5G gives you the consistent software experience you come to expect. This phone comes with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 5G, 8GB of RAM, and the option of 128GB or 256GB of storage. And yes, this has a micro SD card slot, so you can add up to an additional 1TB of storage. And yep, you don't see this that often anymore, so I know some of you are happy. And look, I'm not going to get super technical here. I'm going to leave that to people smarter than me. But it wasn't that long ago that phones at this price didn't have the capabilities like we have now. I mean, with this Reno 8T 5G, the smoothness of using the phone stood out to me, especially compared to the Samsung A53. And you can see and feel this performance when you're using its ColorOS 13 operating system that is running on top of Android 13. And while rotating through different apps like I do daily, especially YouTube and Instagram, or just when you're keeping up to 20 apps active in the background. And the more apps you can keep open, the less time you have to spend closing apps to conserve resources. And this phone also has something else that helps keeps it running smoothly, and it is Oppo's dynamic computing engine. It basically acts like a traffic cop because it can allocate system resources like the 8GB of RAM to the proper place, and this will allow apps to open and function faster. And a normal day for me includes a lot of video watching on YouTube, and I noticed that when opening the app and hitting play on a video, things just moved quickly. And then when I had games like Call of Duty or PUBG running, the frame rate and the visual performance was all there. Oh, and something I really like that Oppo is doing is this 48-month fluency protection test, where they put this phone through its paces in their lab, and they have the confidence that this phone will keep putting out consistent performance for multiple years. And because I'm making this video, I had some long days of using the camera a lot, playing some games here and there, and the battery held up pretty well. It's a 4800 milliamp hour battery that made it through most of my days without me having to look for a charger. But when I did need to charge, it was pretty quick thanks to its support for 67-watt SuperVOOC wired charging via the included charger in the box. And I will say that 67 watts isn't super common in this price range. The Samsung A53 I mentioned before only supports up to 25 watts. And something else that helps keep this phone feeling fast and smooth is the 120 Hz 3D curved AMOLED screen. With it being 120 Hz, this means that when you're gaming or watching videos, you're going to get that extra smoothness to the content you're consuming. Now, this phone has a camera feature that I've never used before on a smartphone, and this is a microscope. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that I've always wanted a feature like this, but when I used this on my finger, I was really impressed because I used macro cameras before, but nothing that can get as close as this. And then for your non-close-up photos, this has an 108 megapixel portrait camera to help capture those moments. And oh, how does this phone look to you? So I have the white version of its glow design, but it also comes in black. So this is the new Oppo Reno 8T 5G, and the bottom line about this phone is that it allows you to save money, but not at the sacrifice of the fast performance that we all should have access to in our phones. For the latest pricing and availability, check out the website link in the description of this video. And with that, I'm done here, and like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.